This past fall, the Agawam Marching Band, like just about everything else during this pandemic, looked different from previous years. The late George N. Parks always said, "You are at your best when things are at their worst," and a problem is an opportunity for creative thinking. As staff planned, replanned, and adapted the typical curriculum, many cornerstones of what this program has always been about were possible, even remotely, because they're so ingrained and woven into everything we do. While safety was held paramount, which restricted in-person gathering and playing, goals were set for this year that aligned with any other year, maintaining a sense of community, skill building, and individuals' accountability and contributions for the big picture goal of playing together, even apart. Even when performing in different households, we were together. Drum Major Christina designed easy-to-follow and encouraging tutorials for basic marching commands that could be done at home. She exemplified creative thinking and a mindfulness for students' varying skill sets as she narrated instructions in an accessible way paired with her physical demonstration. The students were great, recording their musical choreography, signing on to online rehearsals with the same energy of an in-person meeting, and greeting each other with the genuine enthusiasm of getting to know all members of their band. The final project gave students the opportunity to learn and play their part for Stand Up and Cheer, and wasn't the only thing students collaborated on. After several weeks of viewing different styles of marching band, music, and movement, and reflecting on our band program, students worked collaboratively to design a field show. Together, they had to detail musical numbers, movement, persuasion, color guard, props, and an overall performance to share with the rest of the band. We were delighted as a staff to see the results of what students chose together. While so many things are uncertain, one thing is, students have proven themselves at their best when things seemed at their worst.
Hi guys, my name's Christina and I'm going to be your drum major for the year, and I'm so excited to start teaching you guys how to march. But before we even start thinking about marching, we have to make sure we have the right shoes on. So take a look at my shoes. They're nice closed-toed sneakers, perfect for marching. We don't want any open-toed shoes. Now let's start learning how to position ourselves for To the Ready. Take a look at my feet again. You should have your feet about a binder's width apart. Now that's about the width of your shoulders, so we don't want them too wide and we don't want them too close together. We want them just right, as if you could fit a binder in between them. Now, we're not baby and we're not sticking our feet way out. Our feet should be looking straight ahead. Now let's take a look at the upper body. Notice how my legs are nice and straight as if I was normally standing. Then, we're going to put our hands together with our right hand in a closed fist with the thumb on the outside of the fist, and the left hand in an open palm above the right-handed fist. Notice how my back is straight and my shoulders are back. And now we look at the head. Our head is not looking straight forward in the person in front of us. We are looking about a few feet in front of us to the person in front of us' feet. We are looking down at the ground, not looking in front of us. In case you've never seen or heard a marching band, the band director or the drum major will use what we call commands to let the band know what they should be doing next. And that's exactly what we're going to learn today with To the Ready and Attention. So let's look at the command To the Ready. Before our games or before we go into parades, we need to get ready to go off. So you will hear the words, To the Ready. Let's watch how it's in action. To the Ready. Did you see how I immediately got into the position as quickly as possible? And if you need to, you can shuffle a little bit to make sure your position is perfect. Let's see that again. This time, do it with me. To the Ready. Did you see how once again I quickly got into the position and stayed in that position? From To the Ready, we can now move into the attention position and get ready to start marching. Take a look at my feet again. Bring your left foot into your right foot. Your right foot should be as if it is glued to the ground, not moving. Only your left foot is the one doing the work. Now let's take a look at the upper body again. Take your hands from in front of you and bring them to your sides. Both are now fists. Notice how there is a slight bend to the elbows. They should not be straight out. Once again, we use commands in order to bring the band to the attention position. Once you're in the to the ready position, you will hear the words, detail, atten, hut, and this brings you to attention. Let's see it in action. Without the command, I'm now showing you how to go from to the ready to attention. Notice how it is one smooth move. You go from to the ready to attention. Now let's see it with the command. Make sure you do it with me. Detail, atten, hut. To the ready. Detail, atten, hut. Now you know how to go from to the ready to attention. To the ready to attention. That's it for now, guys. I hope you're as excited to start marching as I am. Bye! See you next time. Welcome back, everyone. This is Christina, and today we're going to learn how to do the signature Agawam Marching Band dismissal. We do this after every rehearsal and football game, and I provided a video to let you guys see how it goes. Enjoy!
So proud of you. Band dismissed.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Christina, how can I remember all of those words? It sounds so complicated. I promise you, it's not complicated at all. We all had to learn how to do it, and you will too. So let's figure it out. First, I'll write the words on the screen so you can read them. Think about it as if you're in the attention position. Your feet are together, your stomach is in, your chest is out, your shoulders are back, your elbows are frozen, and your chin is up. Your eyes have pride because we're proud of the marching band that we've become. And obviously, who has the best band anywhere? First, I'll be showing you guys what you... Welcome back, everyone! I have a very exciting video for us today because we're taking our first step as the marching band. We have to remember that marching isn't really the same as when we're normally walking, so let's figure out how to take our first step together. Marching is a lot like marking time, except you're moving instead of standing in place. So, once again, this is my left foot, and this is my right foot. Then, start marking time with your left foot, and listen for the command, forward, march! Notice how my left foot was brought out, with my balance between both feet. Your balance is stable between the heel of your left foot and your toes of your right foot. Let's look at some examples of some bad first steps. Here, the balance is only on the toes of your right foot. Here, you're balancing on both of your toes. And here, you're only balancing on your left heel. I know these look pretty silly, but we want to make sure our first step is perfect. It's totally fine if you can't keep your balance right away. You'll notice throughout this video that I move around a lot too. Another important factor about marching is our step size. We don't want our step to be too big and we don't want it to be too small. Mark time, march! Forward, march! On the field, we call this an 8 to 5 step, but for now, just think of putting a binder in between your feet. Would it fit? It's also easy to think about when you see a bad first step. This one is way too small. It would take us forever to march our show if we marched like that. And this one is way too big. You can just see how I'm struggling with this step. thing we have to think about when we're marching is whether or not our step size matches that of the person marching next to us, and that all starts with our first step. So I got my younger brother Aiden, a rookie marcher, to help me out with demonstrating this.
Time, march, up, step. Forward, march, up, step.
He's still getting the ropes of how to march, but do you notice how our step size is completely different? Mine is way too small and his is way too big.
Time, march, up, step. Forward, march, up, step.
Do you see how this step is really close? What you want to take into consideration is whether the left heel of your foot matches up with that of the left heel of the person next to you. Here's a clip of us marching a few years ago. I put it in slow motion so you guys can see the step size of each person. While we're not marching yet, you can easily see how everyone has really close step sizes. Even if someone is taller than someone else, their step size equals that of the person next to them. But until we're all back on the field, and even when we start talking about marching, make sure you're practicing your first step. Make sure you're balancing between both feet, and make sure your step isn't too big or small. Don't worry, you don't look weird, you look just fine. You're doing great. That's it for now, guys. See you next time.